Welcome back to Las Vegas. It's Alex Belfield meeting the stars of the big shows, and there's no show bigger than Phantom, and there's no star bigger than Kristi Holden. How are you?
Oh, you're so sweet. I'm great, thank you.
Now, if you could go and sit over there for me, because you're not well, are you?
No, I've caught a cold.
What a testament, though, that you've come all the way in just to talk to me. I mean, how desperate is your life?
It's not desperate at all. I'm a very giving person.
You're in this show called Phantom of the Opera. If you've not heard of it, it's quite a success around the world. I think you'll find it's the longest running musical in the West End, and this show is even better than Broadway and the West End because it's shorter and it's the best bits and it's more spectacular, and I mean that.
It is spectacular. We have an amazing chandelier that everyone calls Maria, and the theater was built specifically for the show, and it's one of a kind. And we have stuntmen and pyro stunts, and it's a very exciting show.
There's no doubting Andrew Lloyd Webber is a genius, but in every musical there are about 15-20 minutes that pad the whole thing out to make it full length. That isn't the case with this, because what Vegas is brilliant at is getting you in and getting you out.
Yes, most of the shows are about 95 minutes, because I think the casinos want those patrons out in the casinos, but it's an amazing production and such a joyride, and this production really centers around more of the Phantom, Christine and Raoul. Carlotta and Piangi are cut out a little bit more, but there's still the humor. The managers still bring the humor. So there's drama and there's comedy still.
And of course, there are the big numbers we wait for, and they're in full, and you sing them beautifully. I haven't seen you this year, but I saw you the last couple of years, and you just are phenomenal. You were born to do this role, really, weren't you?
You are so nice to me, Alex. Thank you.
It is a God-given gift, because with this kind of show, you can't fake it. I mean, there are some shows where it's ensemble. I mean, you get to do the big numbers.
I do. Christine is a phenomenal role. Any soprano wants to do this role, and I feel really blessed to do this production. I am still not tired of this music. I've been doing it for 3 years every night. I love it. The orchestrations are so lush and gorgeous, and I pull so much inspiration from the music and the orchestration. And I love singing every single song Christine sings.
And you're up there with the best. I mean, this was originally done by Sarah Brightman. She's on the CD. And Sarah Brightman is, of course, just a legend. Mm-hmm. What do you take from her, or do you try and make it your own?
Well, I think that there's always character development is laid out in the script for everyone, and then you bring your own self to within that character. And I love Sarah Brightman, and I have most of her CDs. I love all her new works as well. And then I came in and watched Sierra and Elizabeth, the original Christines of this particular production, and I learned from them, and then gradually I found myself in the role, and every Christine is unique as every Phantom's unique and every Raoul's unique.
Can we talk about the Phantoms for a moment, because I think there are two here. Mm-hmm. I've interviewed so many of them over the years, and after a while, if they stay too long, they become a bit creepy. I interviewed one on Broadway once who said he never opens his curtains. Are there any like that here in Vegas?
There's no creepy Phantoms here. And Tony's wonderful, and Brent, we miss him, and he was so wonderful too.
Because, I mean, let's face it, you've got to have something that we fall in love with the Phantom, because you have to fall in love with him. But at the same time, he's not that nice, is he?
No, but I think one of the most brilliant parts of the show is the compassion at the end that Christine finds for the Phantom, and that's the most important part for me in the show, is Christine stepping outside of herself and seeing him as human and full of pain, and to reach out and give him compassion and touch him as no person has touched him before. I mean, it takes a lot of courage, and I think we all need to find that courage in our daily lives.
Well, you see, I have a lot of compassion for the Phantom, because look at this face. We have a lot in common, you know, just a social outcast. Why are you laughing? What's the problem?
Well, I'm laughing because you're a redhead and so am I, and we always get picked on.
Well, it's true. I mean, you just become a social leper, and I know how he feels. I mean, in reality, though, somebody as gorgeous as you is never going to fall in love with somebody as ugly as the Phantom, are you?
Well, I don't know if that's so true. I mean, I think that, of course, there's always that first instance of attraction, but I think that for me, as Christine, if the Phantom hadn't murdered people and had come to her more humbled, she could have found lasting love with him, as we are seeing with Love That Never Dies. That's just open. But I think that she also points out to him that it's his soul that is the problem. It's not his face. And she says that very clearly in the final layer. And I think a lot of people should look beyond the cover of someone and dig deeper to find who that person really is.
Cirque du Soleil have just brought out a new magic show, and David Copperfield's just down the strip at the MGM Grand. We spoke to him last night. And this show also has magic. I mean, there are some incredible illusions within this.
Yes. I mean, the chandelier is a huge illusion, and the phantom coming down from the center of it, not to give anything away if you haven't seen the show. And there's fireworks, and it's just pretty fantastic. It's visually, it's a lot to behold.
It was interesting when this show launched, because I came the first year that it was here and everybody said musicals don't work. I mean, and they didn't really. If you look at Hairspray and the producers and We Will Rock You came and went within minutes. This has bucked the trend, hasn't it? It's kind of captured people. 2 shows a night. They wouldn't keep doing that if it wasn't selling out.
Well, I think that Phantom is a brand that's known throughout the whole world, and Vegas is a destination city. So a lot of people have seen Phantom in London and on tour and on Broadway, and they're coming to see the new version. I don't think that this a Phantom in Las Vegas would have worked if it was just like the other ones. So they were very smart in cutting it down and adding all the visual effects and making it as lavish as it is. So it's something new for Phantom fans to love, and people that are first learning about Phantom or just watched the movie.
You truly have got a gift. Do you ever ask yourself, why me? Why did they pick me for the role?
Well, to be honest, I have been working really hard in a career for musical theater, and when you pick a theater and show business, you have to believe in yourself, and I worked really hard to get where I am today, and I feel incredibly blessed. And yes, there are moments where I'm like, wow, I can't believe I'm here, and I can't believe I'm playing Christine, and I can't believe they're still believing that I can bring this role alive, and I pinch myself. But I also know to stay humble and count my blessings every single day, and I'm just so grateful to be a part of this family and this production.
Talking of pinching yourself, this is a food town. You can't have a clinically obese Christine. How do you stay so gorgeous?
Well, I just started doing Pilates, and I love Pilates because I love laying down and working out. I think that is the best idea on the planet. So I've been doing a lot of Pilates, and I also have to watch what I eat before the show. I can't eat too much, or I kind of bloat up and I can't fit in my costumes, and it makes it very difficult to sing throughout the show. And so I've really learned to eat in smaller portions.
How tough is it to get through this show twice a night? Because it's a big sing. There aren't a million numbers, but the ones that there are huge.
Well, there is a stamina issue, and really it just depends on how much sleep I got, how healthy I'm feeling, how vocally tired I am. There are some nights where I can do both shows no problem, and then other nights I realize that I've oversung the first show and I don't have it for the second show. So I do have to pace myself, but it just really I just have to make sure I get enough sleep, and I drink a lot of water, especially in the desert.
I was talking to somebody in New York in the spring, and we were talking about the fact that you're never really at 100% when you're in a musical, because there's just so many shows to get through and so many bugs around and 1,000 people who can infect you every night with their coughs and splutters. It's a tough gig, really, isn't it? Because you want to perform at your best, but you never really can.
It's true. Like Monday night, I got through my first show. I didn't feel I was vocally as strong, but our stage manager said he knows how I sing, and the audience loved it, but he could tell the difference. And of course, I'm not going on tonight. But pretty much, if you're, really taking your vitamins and staying healthy, working out, and getting enough sleep, you can do pretty well. But you do have to watch yourself for sure.
Is it still a thrill after 3 years to see the reaction of the crowd? Because the show doesn't get any better. It's as spectacular as it is every night. But the reaction is still massive. It might be your 500th performance, but to them it's their first.
Well, that's true. And every time we walk out on the stage, we have to make it our first, because it is people's first out in the audience. And when they stand on their feet and they're clapping, and sometimes I get emails from people that have come to see the show and how much it has affected their life. And it means a lot, because you've done your job out there. I mean, it's your job. And to know that it's appreciated and you've moved someone, I mean, that's the whole point of theater, is to move people and make them think, go away from the theater as a different person as when they walked in. And so it's an honor to do that for people.
We should point out we're not broadcasting from a bathroom. That is somebody making a cup of tea.
Oh, yes, and I should be drinking my tea right now.
Listen, congratulations on your performance. You're just totally unique, and really they could pick anybody for this, and they do have the pick of the crop. And the great testament to your talent is the fact you're still here, because they could have got rid of you several times, couldn't they?
Oh yes, they could have gotten rid of me, and my contract's about up, so hopefully it'll be renewed. So yes, I feel really blessed. This production is really amazing. If you have not seen Phantom in Las Vegas, you have to come see it when you're in town, because it's nothing like any of the other ones. And the other ones are still beautiful and brilliant, and it's not to take anything away from those productions, but ours is different. And come see us. We'd love to have you. We'd be honored to perform for you.
I absolutely agree. I mean, Phantom isn't my favourite musical in the world because it's a bit too long and a bit too serious and a bit too dark, but not in Las Vegas, because they chopped it and just made it so spectacular and beautiful, and with people like you in it, it's a real thrill. Thank you for talking to me.
Thank you so much for having me, Alex. It's my pleasure.